on your chin. Oh, yeah. This is the Goin Deep Show.
Okay, so you popped your fucking hip?
Dude, like, I mean, my hips are not, like, every once in a while, like, I need to crack them anyway. Like, I have tight hips. I don't know how else to describe it, but that, right? I probably need to be more active and stretch more because I'm getting older. But anyway, yes, I had a booty call, and I went and crawled on top of him, and it did, like, the first or second, like, motion. I mean, it popped, and I was like, I mean, I heard it. I mean, I felt it. It didn't hurt. But I just kept fucking through it, and he didn't say anything to his credit. So he was somewhat intoxicated. So I'm not quite sure if he actually realized it happened.
So he heard it too, then?
I would think so. It was loud. It was loud.
Red's hips used to do that,
yeah.
And it was not when she was older or anything. It just she had I don't know what it was about her, but it would make that little like I know what you're talking about.
Oh, but it was loud. I mean, I was like, whoa. So that was I mean, it didn't affect anything. I kept going, but.
You kept on with the bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. That was an interesting one because my kids were home.
Oh,
and I went to his house. So I don't usually do that.
Well, I was going to ask you about this because
I don't usually it's when the kids are gone is when I'll do, and usually he comes over. Like that was the first time I've been to his house.
Ever
in the course of any time we've ever fucked. He always comes to my house.
Let me get this straight. How many times have you guys banged? This is the first time you went to his house?
I mean, 13, 14 years
Holy
ago.
shit, and it's the first time?
He always comes to mind because usually he's out drinking or at the time
is that like
I was bartending.
Step? Is that like a big step? Is that like mean something different?
God, no. I don't want to date him. But no, it's like he had gotten a hold of me Thursday night. And it was, for actually, instead of the kids home, it was you still awake. And I had just gotten back home from Frank and Muth because my daughter had a track meet. And so I was like, yeah, I am still awake. I'm like, I'm even dressed, like laughing. I'm like, oh, but the kids are home. And he was
Not
like, oh.
for long.
And so, we were kind of going back and forth. And I was like, I was waiting because my daughter was coming home on the bus. And I'm like, well, I'm still up. If it's pretty soon, maybe I can pop over there. So I said something. I'm like, he's like, oh, it's a shame, like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but you have a house.
See, you had this.
So I threw it out there, and he was like, yeah, that's true. And so we're kind of going back and forth. But his MO is he's drinking and looking to see, once he decides he's done drinking, what his plans are. That's usually the MO. A lot of times he's at a bar or something, and he'll swing by my house. That's fine. One time he was at a wedding. I was getting ready to go to bed. And he's like, oh, well, I'll still be here for a few hours. I'm like, oh, I'll unlock the door. If you stop by, you stop by. Mm-hmm. So he literally came over to my house at like 1:30 in the morning. I'd been sleeping for a couple hours at that point.
Nothing better than a nice buzz drunk fuck, too.
Exactly. Plus, that's the best way to just get woken up is with sex. So we've done that before. So I was giving him a hard time. I'm like, well, you have a house? He was like, well, yeah, I do. And so I'm like, okay, well then... Nothing. And I'm like, okay, I'm tired because I'd been at this track meet all night. I'm like, I'm going to bed. And I'm like, just knowing, I put my phone on silent. I was like, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. I woke up in the morning. So this was Friday morning to like 4 or 5 texts, 2 missed calls from him. And then finally like a lame and like a laugh emoji. I'm like,
oh, so you just zonked out and you didn't get it.
Yeah. And I turned out, but I mean, it was like an hour since the last time we texted. And I'm like, okay, you got like, you get a window with me. But
you want to know what's really hilarious? And not to sidetrack you on this, just a real short little side note on this. We were listening to some of the older podcasts with you on them. And like, tell me you're like, I'm in for the night time right now. Like what's
me? Usually like, 8. I'm not in bed yet, but like I don't want to go out past 8.
It was like 10:30, 11 o'clock in the older shows. Like, yeah, I'm getting old. I got to get in by 10 o'clock. It was just now you're 2 hours earlier. Isn't that like getting older? We were just talking about it. We're eating dinner at 4:30.
Yeah, right. For real, man. I mean, we're meeting up here. It's what? I mean, it's a little bit later than normal. It's 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Whereas before we wouldn't record till 9, 10 after having a few.
I totally sidetracked you. You keep going. I just thought that was funny.
So that was it. Whatever. Well, then come Friday night, he starts texting me again. And at this point, I'm like, yeah, I'm up, I'm like, he's like, well, I guess, he's like, kids are still home, so you could come over here. I was like, yeah, but how long are you going to be drinking? Like, you got a window. And at that point, I was pretty good. I was like, you got till the closer it gets to 11 o'clock, the less a chance I'm coming over. And my daughter had already seen his name come up on my phone and just looked, and she's like, you got a booty call tonight? You going out? Like, called me on it. And I'm like,
how far of a drive is it? You got to go
2 miles.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh, no. So I'm like, okay, well, I had taken a nap earlier that afternoon. So that's why I was still up. And so finally, I'm like, I gave him like, we're going back and forth. I'm like, well, the closer it gets to 10, the less a chance I'm going to be awake. Just knowing. Well, then I'm up. I was like reading a book, and it was just after 11. He texts me back. You still awake? Which was the first one was. And I'm like, yeah. And we're going back and forth. And he's like, well, okay. He's like, the door's open. I was like, oh, okay. And I had said something to my daughter. I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna. She's like, just let me know if you leave.
Oh,
and my son had come up.
She's fully on board with mom and going to get her.
She even told me, she's like, get it, mom. Like, she's fine. She's totally with it. And so my son had come up the stairs before I had decided I was going over there and to get like a snack or whatever. And I gave him a heads up because like his bedroom's in the basement, but it's right by the driveway. So I'm like, if I back up, he's going to hear me and I don't want him. So I just told him like, hey, I'm like, if you hear the car, leave. I'm like, I might be meeting up with somebody later. I'm like, and that's all I said. I'm like, just try to casual. I'm like, so don't freak out. I'll be back. And he's like, oh, what? You have a butt call? And I'm like,
a butt call?
Oh, what? And he's just like looking at me, and he's looking at me with this like smirk on his face. And I'm like,
mom's got a butt call.
First of all, I'm like, the fact that I have to explain to you that it's a booty call. And he was like, oh yeah. Like, it's a booty call. He's like, oh. So yeah, so one of those. And I was like,
so one of those? You have one of those, Mom?
I was like, don't worry about it.
How was your butt call, Mom?
I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll be gone like a half hour. And he just smirked. He's like, yeah, it's a booty call. And he turned around and walked away. I'm like, and the thing is, like I said, this doesn't happen when they're home. So the fact that they're calling me out on it. But I am somewhat open with them. Not like, I mean, they don't know everything and I don't talk to them about everything, but like they know that I'm single and
you're a young lady, you're a young woman. You're not some old decrepit woman. And you were talking about your hips cracking and stuff like that. And to me, I think that's probably one of the things that deterred me from aiming a little higher. I don't know if I want to go. I'll fuck somebody and they'll have a heart attack or some shit and it'll fucking freak me out,
Right.
I don't want that.
Well, and then I missed out. I think I told you about it, right? When I like had no voice, how the last time he texted me was the same time frickin' Golden Tongue did the same day. So yeah, I've yet to reconnect with Golden Tongue, but
that's on your list. But you don't want to hurt him either. You don't want to break him because doesn't he have some heart issues or some shit you were talking about last time? Yeah, you said he's got some issue.
No.
Golden Tongue, didn't you say there's some?
Oh, the heart issue. Yeah. No, because I had asked him about that, and he's like, "No, it seems better now." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
So
yeah, I'm not gonna turn
you
that
confused
down.
me though. You confused me because you said it was the kids were home.
Oh,
and I immediately went to, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Over the past couple of years, I've had some calls where there were kids right in the other room. I've had some ones where it's like,
absolutely. One, I'm too loud. Like, listen, I am vocal. We all know this on the show.
Absolutely.
Like, it's recorded.
Episode 900. Go listen to 900, everybody, before it goes behind the paywall.
I am too loud to do that. Okay. My daughter's room is like right across the hall. It's so close. And I mean, I don't need it that bad anyway. Like I can go. I don't mind leaving my house. It's most convenient when it is delivered.
But I was confused. I thought you were getting some banging with the kids home. Have you ever been?
No, because he tried saying the one night when he texted me when I had bronchitis. He's like, well, we can just do, he's like, I can just pull in the driveway and bend you over my truck. Like, it's fine. And I'm like, no, my kids are in the house.
This is why you need a garage.
They're nosies. I have a garage.
With a studio in it and a couch and shit.
But I'm like, I was sick. But no, like, just give me a few days usually. Like a week max. And then it'll work out.
See,
or again, I can go there. I don't mind driving. I drove like a half hour for Golden Tongue. My
fondest memories, I think, and ones that I probably have yanked off to more often than none are when I get a booty call midday, afternoon delight style, where I remember when Red was still at the house when we were a lot younger. She was a West Coast nooner. I always used to say 3:00 would come around and she would be like, "Hey, you need to get home. You need to get your butt home." She was like a West Coast nooner, right? She was a 3:00 in the afternoon girl, but it was always I liked getting the ones where I'll be in the shower in 5 minutes if you can get here, and you go there, you show up, you walk in, and they're fucking just getting slathered up and soapy and shit. Those are the fun ones. I like that. I think that's the hottest shit going right there when it comes to the...
Now, I like the midday. Like I said, when I got that text from Golden Tongue, just the sex for lunch. Oh my God, if I wouldn't have been... I mean, it's a couple weeks later. I think I need to go back to the doctor because it's still kind of husky. But
you seriously work from home. You could have
that's
afternoon
exactly
delight.
it. I have the perfect setup.
Fuck yeah, you do.
Like when I was with my ex, he would pop over all the time.
You should be getting banged every afternoon.
I know.
I've been having mornings lately.
See, there you go.
Like I would say probably... at least every 2 to 3 days. Sometimes it'll be like 3 days in a row, and then a couple of days when the kids are there and stuff. But in the mornings it's just like, oh hey, look, there's a boner. Let's fucking use it. Mm-hmm.
No, we used to do that when my ex and I lived together. We would, almost every single morning. Like I was regularly late to work because. Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, that was only when the kids were. I say when he lived with me, when he was like pretty much live in. He was like a live-in boyfriend, like on the weeks they were gone. So
yeah, I've been struggling with this a little bit because I have a lot of responsible things that I need to do at my house. I have a cat there. I have pets. I have a lot of shit, but I tend to stay over at her place a lot now for meals and do stuff. I don't know. It's a weird time. We're all going poor. We got to team up. We got to start teaming up because we're all going poor. Unless you're a billionaire, we got to worry about it. But this is interesting because on the way home yesterday, I went to a Tiger game. And first of all, I need to tell you, I bumped into Sookie at the Barnes & Noble last week.
Nice.
In the Midland. Saw her sister first, and I'm like, that looks just like Kendra. I know that Sook. And then she comes walking up, and we start talking a little bit. So yesterday, I prematurely asked her to go to the Tiger game with me because I didn't know that I had... someone else I asked too, it was be like, hey, first, whoever fucking says yes, they can confirm whether or not they can go. You can go. Whoever gets to be first gets to go, kind of a thing. And it was interesting because I mentioned her about the birthday stuff coming up. My birthday's coming up like about a month away, and I haven't even really got all that prepared for it or anything. And I'm starting to get kind of okay. I got to start hyping it up a little bit and kind of getting things rolling. But yeah, I teased her a little bit, and I think she was kind of disappointed she didn't go to the Tiger game with me. But she texted me while I'm at the game. It was like 7:45. The game was in like the 5th or 6th inning. And she's like, I'm just getting out of work, so it's a good thing you didn't go with me. I'm like, okay, shit.
Right.
I wanted to bring up something with you because it's been the headline of the day. What is up with the Kanye and him? Have you heard this shit?
I've seen a couple of headlines of him apparently admitting in a song that he fucked his cousin.
No, he didn't fuck his cousin. He sucked his cousin's dick from the time he was like 6 to the time he was 14. So it's in the song. I gave my cousin head.
Does he clear? I mean, do we know how old this cousin is?
They're like the same age, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Why? Because you're thinking the same thing. It was a cousin like...
was that sexual abuse? Does this explain everything now? Like, did we figure it out finally? I mean, it probably still
does.
Part of it.
There's a hint of it for damn sure.
Yeah, my first thought went to like older cousin, like, oh, is this why?
Well, I mean, I've talked about it on the podcast here. I had a babysitter, some fucking large-breasted redhead girl who diddled my little bits and pieces before I could... I remember what was weird about it was I can still vividly remember this to this day. I remember feeling like I couldn't have an orgasm. I couldn't come. So it just felt like I was going to take a piss. Like, I don't know. You don't know what that feeling feels like. I mean, you know what I mean? It was way before I went through puberty. So it was like, what the fuck?
Right.
It was just fucking weird. It was fucking bizarro, right? But I don't know. What's your take on that? Because like you said, part of me, you wonder why he's so fucking weird. Why he's a fucking nut job.
It definitely could be a contributing factor.
But now it explains quite a bit.
I would say that it's a contributing factor.
And I feel almost sympathetic for the guy kind of a little bit now, more so than I did before. I just thought he was a fucking wacko. And now we know he's a wacko for a reason.
right. There's a reason.
There's a reason for his fucking wackiness. It's because he's had a bunch of black dick in his mouth for fucking years. It explains everything. You've had black dick in your mouth, haven't you?
Yes, one.
Just one?
Just one.
And you went back.
Yeah.
You're tapping that cord. I can hear it.
Am I?
Yeah. You got to yank it. Can you put it up over the arm?
This one?
Yeah. No, the green one.
The green one.
Yep, that's the one we can hear.
There we go. God.
Silence is golden. I want to play a clip for you because this has to do with what we're talking about, and I want you to like just completely consume this. You may have heard it, but this has to do with the Great Lakes and my favorite thing ever, the thing that I strive to accomplish every day of my life. Let's see if it happens here. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Whole thing to ponder, but I do ponder it sometimes, which is it's an unquantifiable, but at any given moment because of porn. How much jizz is being sprayed into time space per minute?
It's got to be.
Is it one
feel like we've
Olympic
looked this
size
up
pool a
before.
minute? I'm just throwing this out there. You guys could do the math for me, please. I'm going to say every 3 months at a global level, enough semen is generated to fill one of the Great Lakes.
I was thinking taking it to a lake as well. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
which Great Lake? Are we talking Lake Superior?
Smallest
'Cause
Great
that's-
Lake, but definitely one of the Great Lakes.
And, I don't know, and I'm sorry. I mean, I know you're all right. I know you're a fascist, but but I do weep for the earth. And I don't want my kids, when they get older, to go to a dry, dead Great Lake.
Yeah.
And I think we've created, if we can come up with desalination plants for human semen, and we create organized circle jerks in front of bodies of water that have dried up because of climate change,
Not a bad idea.
we have potentially solved the climate crisis, at least when it comes to access to water.
Potentially the immigration crisis, because we could use migrant labor to just all come in the lake. We could have like.
Listen, I am a fan of open borders, but
He's so nice.
I'm a fan of open borders. But honestly, I kind of want the Great Lakes to be filled with American.
You want
cum.
American cum?
Isn't that fucking
That is
amazing?
not at all where I thought that was going to go.
Where did you think it was
like,
going?
of saving the planet by jizzing into the Great Lakes.
He
Like,
brings up a good point, though. At every second of the day, right now, I'm pointing in a direction. We have blocks and blocks of humanity. There is multiple people just fucking whacking the fucking shit out of their dick right now. Fucking flicking their bean, bringing out their toys. Right now, as we speak, all over this town, people are getting fucked. People are fucking jacking off and doing all sorts of fucking shit, getting drunk, doing all sorts of drugs, all sorts of fucking crazy shit. I love it. It's great. When you go through life not thinking about that, you drive past high people and people coked out of their fucking minds, and it's crazy shit all the
I
time.
bet you, because the edibles kicking in, and you know how I like to do math when I freaking have edibles on the show. Because now I'm thinking, what's the average amount of cum per ejaculate?
This is where I was going to ask you about, too.
Then how many times on average does a guy come around the world? You know what I mean? Like, do the math. And okay, well, how many times a week? A month? We could do the math to see how much jizz there would actually be after 3 months.
I can
based on
admit,
estimations.
I think it's part of me that is, I've edged myself for a long time, like when I was younger, because I just want a messy cleanup. You know what I'm saying? I'll get to the point where I'll either stop, or have this technique where I'll like take my fingers and I'll kind of seal myself off a little bit. You ever heard of people doing that where they'll underneath your balls, if you can still come without it coming out? Have you ever heard this?
No.
There was a artist who was on Howard Stern. I can't remember what the hell his name was. David Cho, maybe? Or he's some Asian artist, amazing designer. And he was in prison for something. I think he was in prison for like graffiti or something in a country. And he was, of course, wanted to fucking jack off and stuff. So he described this technique where you pretty much fucking yank your crank, and then when you're about to come, you just take like 2 or 3 fingers underneath your balls and just fucking shove it down. You push it down there, and the cum doesn't come out. You don't shoot a load. So I've tried this technique, and it fucking works. Straight up works. The only problem with it is the cum still wants to fucking come out. So it gets kind of like stuck up in the tube, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's like trying to
Does it like eventually slowly leak out?
Well, what I've noticed is when you go take a piss later on, like the first piss you take after you fucking attempt this, it's a little different. You can tell that it's not just straight urine. You can tell there's some fucking load in there.
So that's what happens when a chick gets jizzed in and goes pee. Now you know what that feels like. Just on a different, because it just, whatever's like not going anywhere else, just kind of.
And it just doesn't quite feel right. If you can tell, oh yeah, I jacked off and I didn't make myself come. So where was I going with this? So I believe that since I have done this in the past, I think I've always thought my loads were light. I've always thought that. I've always thought my loads were light, especially for a Mexican only having 2 kids. I mean, or 2.5 kids. I think, if to hold your Mexican card, you have to have at least 2 kids with 2 different people. Got my Mexican card. I can have it for the rest of my life. I'm not like my other cousins. My other cousins are like, I got 5 kids with 3 different dudes, It's like they got the gold standard cards. They got the real thing, you know what I mean? But I've always thought my loads were a little light. Like when I watch Peter North or any of these like big porn stars and they're just fucking like when you ever had a guy who's just like, whoa, what the fuck? Holy shit balls. Mm-hmm. This is a lot of fucking cum.
I have. Yeah. I mean, and there's definitely, even when you watch porn, there's different levels to a point, but like, yeah, I mean, I've had, small amounts where I'm like, oh, that wasn't that much. And I've had some that's been like, holy cow, like that was so much.
Which, I got to ask you, like versus prefer, which like, oh, like is like.
Honestly, if it's inside me, less is better because less cleanup that's eventually leaking out.
Yeah, like 3 days you're going to make a coffee.
Yeah. Well, especially because I don't have a uterus anymore, right? So they just like sew that up where they take my uterus. Mm-hmm. So there's literally nowhere for it to go in me. Like there's nowhere for it to go. It literally just all falls out. So like I can tell more than I could before my hysterectomy how much a dude jizzes in me. Because I'm like, oh, there's more coming out. But considering we've talked about my breeding kink before, like if I'm going to watch it, if you're going to come on me, as much as like the cleanup is worse, I want to see a lot. And then it never mattered to me prior to me unlocking that kink.
Okay, so here, this is me completely being transparent as fuck right now, okay? And this may be awkward a little bit, but we've had some time. I can't remember if I dumped inside of you.
We're always so wasted.
So now again, this goes back to me being me as honest as I can be on this podcast, because I hesitated like a motherfucker right there to even bring that up. I was going to, but as you're saying it, I'm thinking to myself, did I fucking load in you? And this may be because the reason I ask this is because I wanted to know if it was a light load or not.
I would say, if you did,
I think I did.
If you did, it would have been one of the more recent times because it would have been post-hysterectomy.
Because I remember you telling me. I remember you telling me that. So I think I did.
I think so too, but I couldn't tell you for sure because that is not something that I remember about having sex with. Like after the fact, at the time, I'll be like, oh, but I don't retain that information.
From what I remember, the last time you and I fooled around, we were out drinking and eating dinner and having a good time, and then it was a matter of me like either going home or going out to your place, and then I knew the kids weren't there, and I went out. But my mind was just like, do I even fucking say this? I'm like, you know what? Yes, I'm fucking saying this because I say everything, and I think that was like,
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember because again, we were
hats off to us.
I remember driving home drunk and being like, okay, you probably shouldn't be driving, but you're good. You can make it.
I
and then watching you behind me and like,
I can tell you this. I know when it was because you know why? I was struggling with who I was with at the time. I just split from her, and I was like, I need to fucking make sure I'm working okay. I really did. I hate to say I used you.
I don't care.
I hate to say I used you cum dumpster, but I did a little bit just to make sure that I still was able to like, okay, because it was not with who I was talking about. It was like, it would always start all good and just like, it literally petered out. So, Patrick, thanks for helping get over that.
Hey, anytime. Yeah. I have to tell you, I went to Google average volume.
Yes, I need to know average volume.
But I have to tell you this before it just closed back out. When you type in just the first words, average volume, into Google, guess what the first search is under the suggested post?
What?
Average volume of ejaculate.
This is something guys worry about.
I'm going to read this, though, because I love these lists. Number 1, average volume of ejaculate. Number 2, average volume stock. 3, average volume of a human. Just a human.
Just a human.
And then average volume of urine. And then average volume of blood in a human body. Then we jump to average volume of a jelly bean.
And I'll tell you this, you know why they say the average volume of a jelly bean? I'm guessing because how many times have you gone to the candy shop and they have a big jar and you have to guess how many are in it?
Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm saying too. That would be hilarious. Can you imagine if you did this at a sex toy shop? It's like just a what? You just pour milk into a fucking jug and be like, guess how much load is in this?
Okay, so I have to tell you this. I feel like you are an average ejaculator based on this because the average volume of semen is roughly only 1/4 to 1 teaspoon.
Well,
Teaspoon is like, I was guessing that it'd be like a couple tablespoons.
Yeah, because here's the thing, guys. There are certain things we measure ourselves on, and it's dick length, of course, girthiness, and how big your balls are. There's certain things that guys in their mind are kind of thinking, and it's completely in their head that they do this, and all of us are doing this at the same time, But when it comes to the load thing, we've been tainted by the damn porn. And all of these, but there's some trickery in some of that.
Well, and here, this article from Medical News Today. And first of all, as a woman, that seems so low. I have had so much jizz on me. There's no way. I've had it where it's covered the top of my chest.
Aww.
1 teaspoon is not going to... Anyways, but this article goes on to say what causes variation in the volume and force of ejaculation.
Yeah, is there a way to improve it? Because I want to improve my load.
Males tend to ejaculate the largest volume in their early 30s.
Oh, shit.
And as they get older, it decreases. Recent sexual activity may decrease
jacking
volume,
off, but jacking off too. I'm sure if you're jacking off a lot, you're not going to have a lot in there.
And prolonged periods of abstinence may cause more semen.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Genetic factors play a role in semen volume, apparently.
I'm going to have to ask my dad in here talking about, hey, Dad, how big's your load?
Diet, smoking, and other lifestyle factors also can apparently...
I wonder if the drinking, because I do drink a lot. I had a conversation at work today about how much drinking we do and stuff. And one buddy of mine there, he's a little guy. He's not very big. And he said on Easter he drank like 13 beers. I can't remember the last time I drank 13 fucking beers. It may have been St. Patty's Day. So not that long ago, but that's a rarity. This is like Easter. Don't you love how the holidays have just become like, it's an excuse to fucking get wasted, And so now back to this load situation. Now, some of my favorite loads.
Ooh,
you got more?
There's tips.
It's load facts. Give me some tips. Give us the tips.
Tips to ejaculate further and increase volume. Exercising more. Masturbating less often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Engaging
in foreplay.
Foreplay makes your load go a little bit more, huh?
Apparently, there's only anecdotal evidence that might. There's no evidence-based research on that.
Here's the thing about
doing Kegels.
A guy doing the Kegels?
I guess, yeah.
I've only done the Kegels a couple of times, and I'll tell you when it was. It was after I had the fucking what I thought was ED with this girl. Right before I think I came inside of you, and I was reading up on it too and trying to figure out what the fuck was wrong with me. And I also want to tell you, there has been discussions of you trying to steal guys who are on my baseball team, right? And you know why his nickname is that, right? You know what his nickname?
Mm-mm.
Two Courts. That's Pootie's brother's nickname on the team, and it's Two Courts for that reason. So be prepared if you ever happen to have a little. You're gonna have to blow on your thumb a lot harder because there's gonna be so much just seeping out. Some of my favorite conversations that I think I've ever had with a woman have been after I fucking had sex with the women. I remember, it was the blonde bombshell there. I remember. There were some angry conversations after those because she's like, I gotta go get a plan B now, motherfucker. She would say that, and then it was I need to go push as much of that out of me as I can. I want to know tell me, pretty please, what is the technique for like pushing fucking jizz out of your pussy?
Peeing? Or even if you're not like it's the same Kegel that you use like because when you pee, you like push, right?
Right.
That's the same. And like sometimes gravity helps, you know? So there's sometimes that I usually go pee afterwards anyway, but sometimes you just need to sit there for another minute or so to let the rest just kind of
seep out.
Get out. And yeah, that doesn't always get it all out.